ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यभिमहायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो हरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः 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 नान्तःप्रज्ञं न बहिष्प्रज्ञं नोभयतःप्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञानगनं न प्रज्ञं नाप्रज्ञम् अदृष्टम् अव्यवहार्यम् अग्राह्यमलक्षणम् अचिन्त्यमव्यपदेश्यम् एकात्मप्रत्ययसारं प्रपञ्चोपशमं शान्तं शिवमद्वैतं चतुर्थं मन्यन्ते स आत्मा स विज्ञेयः. On page 50, the third line, Pashakara says, Antఃprajñatvadi nivrutti samakalam eva pramatruttvadi bheda nivrutte तथा च वक्षति ज्ञाते द्वैतं न विद्यते इति. So, this Bhashyakara is discussing the role of a pramana, role of a mantra number 7 in giving you the knowledge of a turiya. So that's what he is discussed here. And he says the Shastra Pramana basically negates the ignorance and superimposition. These two things which are connected. Ajnanam goes, then the Ajnanam born various notions regarding oneself also go away. So then that is Antঃprajñatvadi. So that is a wakerhood or a dreamerhood or sleeperhood. So Shankaracharya says in the superimposition of this waker or a dreamer, then definitely I become a knower. There is nothing wrong, and this is an arrangement. This is Ishvara. This is a Ishvara Srishti, because the Turiya cannot know. Turiya doesn't have to know. Turiya should have an Antakarana. Well, it's not. The knower basically, who has identified, the Turiya alone who has identified with the Antakarana and has assumed a knowerhood. Pramatrutvam is very essential. Ahankara is very essential here in order to exhaust prarabdha. So with the mithya upadhi, of course mithya antakarana, so pramatrutvam is there. And as a pramata, he experiences various things in a waking state and a dream state, etc. And that is okay, that is fine. Antःprajñatvam is not an issue. But Pramata says, I am Antaprajna and I am not a consciousness, Turiya. That's the issue. That's the issue. So everything, the world of course is there, waking world, Ishvara. The very Pramata which experiences that, Ishvara. You have not decided by your free will, let me be a Pramata, etc. Well, you identified in the waking state. As you wake up, you identified with the waking world. So Pramatritvam is there, and as a Pramata, you experience the waking world and also exhaust Prarabdha, naturally. Because Sukha Dukkha will be born, etc. So that way, even Ahankara, really speaking, is not samsara. I am Ahankara and I am not Turiya. That's a samsara. So before we go, let us talk about that Antaprajnatvam, Bahishprajnatvam, or Prajnan Ghanatvam, etc., is not an issue. I am Antaprajna is an issue. Therefore, na Antaprajnam, na Bahishprajnam. So, na Antaprajna means you are not Antaprajna. Antaprajna is definitely you, but you are not Antaprajna. Yes. Antaprajna is you. You are not Antaprajna if you say, well, there is no samsara. Antaprajna is I, and I am Antaprajna. Well, that's a samsara. So, Atma is taken as a samsara. Atma is taken as a Antaprajna, etc. Anyway, so Antaprajnatvadi nivrittihi. Bhashyakara says, so Turiya definitely will become a knower, but Turiya will, because of ignorance, Turiya says, I am just a knower of a waking world, dream world, etc. Anyway, and in a deep sleep state, when this wakerhood, dreamhood, etc. is all, well, I am no more a knower, etc. So, because that has gone to, this is what it is. It has arisen, the Triputi has arisen from the Turiya. There's a knower, knowledge, and even, the object of knowledge. All have arisen, that is Advaitam, has arisen from Turiya in a waking state, in a dream state. In a deep sleep state, it has all merged. Triputi has merged, so no Dvaitam. And that in an unmanifest state, all the three, as unmanifest, is illumined. Right? So there was no object of knowledge. I was not a knower. I did not have any knowledge. When you wake up and you say that, you are really negating this Triputi. Means they are not they are not destroyed. It has become Avyakta. But that also was your experience. That also was illumined. Its existence, abhava of this Triputi also is illumined. That is Sakshi. That is you. So that is, and it even though knowerhood has gone, you have not gone. Right? Knowerhood has gone, you have not gone. That shows that your existence is definitely cannot be negated. When the waker is there, you are there. But waker becomes predominant, and because of the ignorance. Predominant means you say I am waker, that's it. And then say I am a dreamer, etc. That's it. So basically, all this Triputi, etc. arises from this Turiya alone, and they resolve into Turiya. So Turiya basically reveals the absence of all Triputi. That's called Prajnan Ghanam. How the knower, and the knowledge, various types of knowledges that knower has, and the object of knowledge. Everything resolved. That's a Bhashyakara is going to say Bijavastha, Bija Bhava. Naturally, because from there only it arises. It remains as a Bija. It remains as a Karana. So Shankaracharya's ingenious argument is that once ignorance is removed and superimposition of wakerhood, etc. is removed, then definitely I have lost the knowerhood itself. Before I gained knowledge, before I exposed to the teaching, I was a knower. Right? Waking state. And knower. I am a Pramata. Waker. And after gaining knowledge, now Pramatrutvam is negated. Negated means falsified. And in place, if that is falsified, what is the reality? I am Turiya. So you are no more a Pramata. So when Pramatrutvam is falsified, the Pramana also is falsified. Because Pramana is not for the Turiya, Pramana is for Pramata. Right? So means of knowledge, etc. are there for the knower. He only basically wields various means of knowledge. The knower wields depending upon the type of knowledge he wants to gain, or depending upon the object of the knowledge he wants to know. Well, he wields a pramana. He wields a means of knowledge. So when the knowerhood is falsified, right, and then definitely, because ignorance has gone, and then definitely the very pramana also is falsified. If pramata and pramana are falsified, then there is a question of a prameya. Object of knowledge also, prameya also is falsified. And therefore Bhashyakara says, there is a question of now for the pramana which is already falsified, how come that pramana which is falsified now reveal Turiya? Cannot. And therefore, this is Bhashyakara's argument. Antapragnatvadi nivrutti samakalam eva. At that moment itself, when this nivrutti of the adhyasa along with the ignorance takes place, which is the job of a pramana, there is no other second job required for the pramana to reveal Turiya. That's it. That's what he wants to say. Antapragnatvadi nivrutti samakalam eva pramatruttvadi bheda. Pramata, pramanam, prameya, that kind of bheda, that dvaitam, nivrutte, it has gone. And so, since this is so, well, definitely there is no now, there is no need of a pramana to reveal Turiya, etc. It has been already falsified. So pramana removes ignorance and superimposition. Tripuri itself is falsified or dissolved. Not physical dissolution, but falsification. Because then we should always understand there will never be a physical dissolution because it is Ishvara. It's a Ishvara. Only that Jiva Srushti will go away, which is born of, Jiva Srushti means this Adhyasa, etc., which is born of a Ajnana, which is the Upadhi for the Jiva. That goes away. There's a physical dissolution means you are resolving Ishvara Srushti, or you are resolving Ishvara as such. You cannot resolve physical, you cannot destroy. It's simply falsification. You are directly now in touch with the Ishvara, or Ishvara Srushti, that is Ishvara. You are in tandem with Ishvara. That's how he has a joy. Whenever, even if person is not enlightened, whenever one is in tandem, in harmony with Ishvara in one or the other form, in terms of a dharma, in terms of gaining knowledge, well, definitely there is a joy. So that when we follow dharma also, we have a joy because there is a harmony between you and Ishvara. Or else when you are trying to gain knowledge and you gain knowledge, the ajnanam, which is creating a distance between you and Ishvara, right? That's the only, there is nothing else. If it is said that everything is Ishvara, and still I say no, I am Jiva different from Ishvara, so that creates a distance. That distance is in terms of ignorance. It's not a physical distance. There is no physical distance between you and Ishvara. There is no a temporal distance between you and Ishvara. It will be, you will meet Ishvara in some point of time. The very hand by which you are saying this, that hand, the law by, etc., everything is Ishvara. And the very thought of this also is Ishvara. Anyway, so the distance is in terms of ignorance, and that ignorance just goes away. You are trying to know something in this world, and that the ignorance pertaining to that object goes away. You are directly in harmony with the Ishvara. That's how knowledge also gives a joy so much as, or maybe even more than, the object of the sense enjoyments, sense experiences. Yeah. And so this is how, so this person is now, as ahankara, well, it is enveloped, his ahankara is enveloped by Ishvara. And as a basis of ahankara and this creation, Ishvara, well, he says, I am Brahman. There is no distance between me and, because ignorance has gone. So this Shankaracharya's ingenious argument is, once this pramana has lost its pramana status, how can it continue to function? The reveal Turiya. Therefore, pramana doesn't have a true job here in case of at least Turiya, that removal of the ignorance and revelation of a turiya, that is not there. Very ignorance goes away means the Paramatrutvam is falsified, Pramana is falsified, Prameya is falsified. Then where is the question of revelation of a turiya by this false Pramana? There is no question. And what even Prameya basically is here falsified. So where it is not there. So, with the first job, removal of the ignorance, Triput is gone. Triput is gone means there is no question of a survival of a pramana. Surviving as a pramana and to reveal the turiya, etc. So, antapragnatvadi nivrutti samakalam eva. Okay. And well, he is quoting. There is no Dvaitam. Adhyasa goes means the Dvaitam goes away, right? One takes oneself to be a jiva, then you take Jagat as different from you, you take Ishvara as different from you. That is Dvaitam. That's it. That there are three things: Jeev, Jagat, and Ishvara. Well, reveals ignorance, and so itself goes away here. Dvaitam itself will not remain. In terms of here, of course, we are talking about know and the knowledge. Some means of knowledge or knowledge and object of knowledge. No, that Dvaitam will not remain because it is falsified. So Adhyasa goes away, ignorance goes away, Dvaitam. So he is quoting Karika, which is going to come. Tathacha Vakshati. Vakshati is a future tense. It will be said. Tathacha means to corroborate. Well, Vakshati, it will be said by Karikakara. Jnate Dvaitam na vidyate. When you know Jnate Turiya, well, once it is the Turiya is known, there is no Dvaitam at all. Okay, further. Jnanasya Dvaita Nivrutti Kshanavyatirекеण Kshanantar Anavasthanat Avasthane va Anavastha Prasangat Dvaita Anivrutti Tasmat Pratisheda Vijnana Pramana Vyapara Samakala eva Atmani Adhyaropita Antahprajnatvadi Anartha Nivrutti iti Siddham. While reading Bhashyam itself, I am, separating the sandhis and etc. So, the way I take the break in between, there you should put the comma in order for you to understand even later after the class, etc. So proper, if we break it, the Bhashyam is comparatively simple. There are no words, we hardly some words will be there which we may not be able to understand. Most of the words we understand. So, so basically, a hair-splitting question, of course, that you know now that aham turiya asmi. This claiming thought will be there naturally. Without this thought, right? So, this is called Akhandakara. By the way, this is Akhandakara Vritti. That there is no division between the knower, knowledge, means the means of knowledge or a knowledge, the Vritti, and object of knowledge. All the three basically are existing in awareness or consciousness, right? There cannot be without that. So, object, of course, is covered by consciousness. The very thought, the Jnana Vritti also is covered by consciousness. Knower also is non-separate from consciousness. And therefore, all the three are non-separate from consciousness alone. And therefore, I am that Turiya, I am that knowledge, I am that consciousness, which manifest in the form of these three in a waking and in a dream state, as a manifest state, or as a manifestation, or it is there in the deep sleep state as a unmanifest, Vyakta or Avyakta. Well, that is my mithya manifestation. They keep coming and going. It's like a role, etc. I am the knowledge which cannot be negated. I am the consciousness which cannot be negated in any of the three states. Without me, no state is possible, right? But I am basically distinct from three states, and therefore I am a Turiya. I am a Chaturiya. I am the fourth one, and I am a ever existent, self-existent, self-revealing consciousness. This is a knowledge, right? So, basically, such knowledge takes place in form of a thought. So, claiming this kind of a thing, Claiming what is a reality. Claiming what is already there. Nitya Siddham. Claiming which is there. Only thing is our Vedantins somehow they don't claim their own wealth. That's a problem. Because we are engaged with many other things, our minds are so preoccupied that sometimes we don't have a time to claim what we are supposed to claim. If you claim what is supposed to be claimed, then your running around will definitely stop. But so anyway, so now question will be, so this Jnana Vritti is there. Of course, Turiya is there, and there is a Turiya Jnana, naturally. I am Turiya, etc., free from division, etc. So that is there. So this we should remember this Advaitam, Dvidha itam iti Dvaitam, actually. Dvidha itam, which obtains as a Dvida, manifold, twofold, Jiva Jiva, Jiva Jagat, twofold, Jiv Ishvara, twofold, Jagat Ishvara, twofold. Dvida itam, itam praptam. In dhatu is there in a second conjugation. So in gatau, it's in the gati. Any gatyartha dhatu is in the sense of prapti. Yeah. So anyway, so dvida itam dvaitam, so which obtains as a dual, right? Advaitam, which has not become second. That's it. Which doesn't obtain as a dvaitam is doesn't obtain as a dual means which has not become second. So anyway, so this is I am Advaitam, well, etc. That knowledge is there, and Advaita Vastu is there. So twofold. So this still there is Advaitam. That's the argument. So Advaitam is there and Advaita Jnanam is there, Jnana Vritti. So two things are there. Therefore still there is Advaitam, he says. You say Jnate Dvaitam na vidyate, right? Jnate. When you know, there is no Dvaitam. Hey, but then Jnana Vritti is there. Without Jnana Vritti, where is this Turiya or Advaita Vastu? And therefore, if Jnana Vritti is there and the object of that Jnana Vritti, Turiya, is there, so two things are there. So, and so this is a duality. So, suppose to remove that Jnana Vritti, now you entertain another naturally. So in order to remove that Jnana Vritti, you cannot remove Turiya. So you have to remove this Jnana Vritti. To remove Jnana Vritti, you need another Jnana Vritti. And so then second Jnana Vritti will remove the first one. And still, well, there will be a Dvaitam because another second Jnana Vritti is there. So anyway, and then you require another Jnana Vritti, you require another Jnana Vritti. There is no Jnana Vritti at all. There is no second thing called Jnana Vritti if you say. That's the second Jnana Vritti. And then there, so basically, so you will find that it is an infinite regression. That's what Bhashyakara is going to say. So it's an infinite regression. And so Vedanta says this Jnana Vritti basically falsifies, negates not only entire Dvaita Prapancha, but also at the same time Jnana Vritti negates, falsifies itself. And so the well-known example in Atma Bodha, Shankaracharya ji says, and we have seen years ago, of course, and that is a Katakareno example. Katakareno example is there. So anyway, Ajnana Kalusham Jivam Jnanadhyasat Vinirmalam Krutva Ajnanam Swayam Nashyet Jalam Katakarenuvat. So, and that alum. You add a powder of that, alum in the water to remove the dust particles which are suspended in the water. So definitely the suspended particles will be taken away by this alum, and as you stir, and they settle down, and that alum also will settle down. So alum takes away the suspended particles, dust particles, and settle down itself. So same way here, so that is the beauty of that powder, that it takes the dust particle and settles down. Similarly, Jnana Vritti also takes away this suspended Dvaitam, which is dust, Dvaita Prapancha, and then it negates itself. So that is called, so Jnanavritti also is mithya. No Jnanavritti remains, being a vritti, just being a vritti. The nature of the vritti is, this is also again Ishvara, order. The nature of the vritti is kshanikam. But it definitely does a job of ajnana nivritti, and the ajnana born dvaitam, and itself also settles down, and you will be a knower all the time. In case of a world, here that very knowerhood is negated, falsified. So anyway, so that is why when somebody asks a question, does Dvaita Jnanam is Satyam or Mithya, without even batting the eyelid, you should say Advaita Jnanam, Brahmakar Vritti, Akhandakar Vritti is Mithya. Shastra is Mithya. Pramana is Mithya. Pramanajanya Vritti is Mithya. The Ajnanam, which it removes that Ajnanam, is Mithya. That's it. That's it. And then, but then who will reveal Turiya? Again, you have, the very Ajnanam is revealed by self-revealing Atma. The very Vritti is revealed by self-revealing Atma. The Pramana, the Shastra is revealed by self-revealing Atma. That self-revealing Atma cannot be revealed by anything else, need not be revealed by anything else, because it reveals everything. And therefore, in fact, that is how Brihadaranyaka Upanishad said, Tatra Vedaha Avedaha Bhavanti. Veda becomes Aveda for this person. Tatra. Tatra means Tasmin Kale. When person gains knowledge. Yeah. Or Tatra means in that person. Well, Vedaha Avedaha Bhavanti. Mithya Bhavanti. Yeah. Otherwise, Upanishad, Veda says Vedaha Vedaha Bhavanti. Imagine. So anyway, so Jnanam is Mithya. So they say even like to remove the dream dirt, etc. What type of a water you want? Mithya. So same way, Dvaitam is Mithya. And the mother of this Dvaitam, Avidya, also is Mithya. And therefore, to remove that Mithya Avidya and Mithya Dvaitam, you need Mithya. What? Mithya Jnanavritti. Which is born of what? Mithya Veda, Pramana. Pramana only will generate a vritti. Everything Mithya. Yeah. So ignorance removal is the job, not revealing the Turiya. So Turiya is not a new entity which we should know. It is already self-revealing. Everything other than is Mithya, and it subsides also. Jnanavritti subsides. We have seen several times. We have seen that once you know a given thing, right, it removes the avarana, right? And then once you know means no. You know this thing. That's it. Nothing else. You don't need, if Jnanavritti subsides, and it is going to subside. It is going to subside. You cannot keep it. If it subsides, then definitely Ajnanam will come back. That never happens. Once you know for rest of the life. Maybe certain thing go out of memory. That's true. Somebody may have to remind. That's also true. But once it is known, the veil on it has gone. Avarana, Ajnanam pertaining to this has gone. Means gone. Jnanavritti also goes away, removing this Ajnana. But in your mind, now this has gained another status. Earlier it was unknown. Now you have gained a different status here. Known. That's the job of a vritti. Vritti goes away. Okay. Gosh. Now mantra starts. So Bhashyaman, the mantra will start. So the mantra is Nanta Pragnam, Na Bahish Pragnam, Na Ubhayata Pragnam, etc. etc. And so Bhashyakara explains that. He says Nanta Pragnam iti Taijasa Pratished. I am going to refer both. I mean, Pujya Swamiji's thing also I would like to refer here, and we have other notes and everything, So you better don't get confused. Where Swamiji is seeing somewhere, but where is he seeing? I am seeing either I have two pillars. One is one other Swami and there is a Puja Swami, nothing else. And sometimes something if I remember I share with you. So there is nothing novel here for me. And so it may happen that now, in explanation of the various words of the mantra and through the bhasham, of course, I may heavily depend upon Puja Swamiji's commentary. Okay, so don't get upset with that. Puja Swamiji's four volumes are there, and definitely I want to use it. It's a treasure, I tell you. It's a treasure. With respect to other teachers, they are also equally. But I personally refer that very much because certain words are like a bullet. I'm telling you, they just you cannot remain, unclear if you see those words. It gives a very clear understanding about the thing. So I may refer. So don't think that why Swamiji is going here and there and all that. Don't worry about that. So anyway, so Nanta Pragnamiti Taijasa Pratisheda. First, Nanta Pragnam, na Bahish Pragnam. Bhashakara says Nanta Pragnamiti Taijasa Pratisheda. Further. And so this Turiya Vastu, which is not a inner consciousness. If you say consciousness, that is fine. If you say inner, you have added Upadhi. Inner, outer, this, that, etc. Or Vaker consciousness, dream consciousness. So Pratisheda means it is not equivalent to Turiya. This is just consciousness, pure consciousness, which is one without the second, which has not become second. That consciousness is not equivalent to a dreamer. Taijasa Pratisheda. I told you it is a Pratisheda Vijnana. So one who identified with the Antakarana, nor he is a dreamer. So that's what it is. Not identified with the Antakarana. So that identification is negated. Taijasa is not negated. Taijasa, the experiencer, the world of experience for the Taijasa called dream world is not negated. Very experience also is not negated. But I am Taijasa is negated. Please understand. So we will continue to experience the dream world. That those experiences will be there. The objects of experience, dream world will be there. Even the dreamer also will be there, and there is no issue at all. So we should understand why we are saying Swami, because it is said Nanta Prajnam. So Anta Prajna is negated. So dreamer is negated. Really speaking, it's not. I am dreamer is negated. Dreamer is not negated. If dreamer, this becomes the basis for Nirvikalpaka Samadhi for the modern Vedantins. This has been explained by Puja Swamiji because, there is no dreamer. Turiya is not a dreamer. Turiya is not a waker. Turiya is not a deep sleeper. Then how will I know Turiya? Go to the fourth state. Yeah. That's how the idea of a Nirvikalpa comes. That to know Turiya, to experience Turiya, one should definitely go to a fourth state called Samadhi. That is how Puja Swamiji explains Antaprajnatvam is not a samsara, it's not an issue. I am Antaprajna means the Turiya identified with the dreamer is the issue. Turiya is Turiya. Turiya appears as a dreamer, Ishvara. But no, I basically was in reality Turiya, but not knowing that, I say I am dreamer. That is the issue. Please understand this. And therefore, that is how it has been said. Okay, if he is not a dreamer, then it may be a waker. Na bahish pragnam iti vishwa pratishedah, Bhashakara says. So the waker identification too is negative. Waker identification means Puja Swamiji says. So means what? I am waker. That identification. That's called identification. That is negated. Means Atma identifies itself with just waker. And that's true. That's very true. If you ask me, who are you? I may say, well, more than that, I am a waker. Okay, this is your reality. Yes, this is my reality. I am a waker. Yeah, that's means even though I am a Turiya, I have identified myself as just waker. That is the issue, definitely issue. Because it is an unholy combination. I is Turiya, which is basically all pervading, free from any kind of a Shuddham, etc. Anyway, which is free from any Kartrutvam, Bhoktrutvam, right? Says I am a waker, which is a Karta, Bhokta, and also, limited in terms of time, place, everything. So, na bahish pragnamite vishwa pratishedah. Now, and before going to Prajnana Ghana, deep sleeper, Shastra visualizes a third possibility, wherein the person is neither awake nor he is dreaming. What is that? Na ubhayatah prajnam. Pashakara says, na ubhayatah prajnamiti jagrat sapnayoho antaral avastha pratishedah. Now, here it's a uniqueness of Pujya Swamiji. See what Bhashakara said, Jagrat Swapnayoho Antaralavastha. Antaralavastha, in between. In between what? Jagrat Swapnayoho. There is a third state of consciousness which is neither a dreamer, neither a waker. So basically, anyway. So here Pujya Swamiji says, well, there is a third possibility in which this kind of thing is there, and that is the person who suffers from multiple personalities. Yeah, because he is not a dreamer, he is not a waker. So there can be in between person, and this is the problem of the person who has definitely internally created a personality. In a dream state also you create an internal personality only. It's an internal personality. As a dreamer, naturally it's a different type of personality. How can you say it's a different type of personality? Because identifying with a dream body, dream senses, dream raga, dvesha, etc. and then you transact with the dream world. But it is not. Jagrat Swapnayoho Antaralavasthas. Means he is not a dreamer. He is not a dreamer. Then, he is a totally awake. No. In between. So, who has an internal created personality and who thinks that too, that is the reality for itself. So, definitely, he's in the waking world. He comes in touch with the various objects also. He has body. But depending upon the type of situation, he creates an internal personality, internal body and internal personality, which definitely responds to the external world, waking world. As a waker, you connect or respond to the waking world. That's a waking state. Then you create entirely a different personality as a dreamer and deal with the dream world. That's a different thing. This is in between. You create an internal personality which is not a dreamer, and neither you are totally awake. Awake means this personality right now, which responds to the waking world, no. Creates an internal personality which is not a dreamer, which is not a waker, and respond to the waking world. Yeah. So multiple MPDs, I think, is Pujya Swamiji says. So this extra personality is basically it is internal only. So that kind of a you can compare with the dreamer, etc., but not purely the dreamer. But so he's a Tejasa in terms of an internal personality. At the same time, he connects to the waking world. Therefore, he is that kind of some kind of a waker also. Could you follow? So since he responds to the waking world, he's some kind of a waker, and he creates to respond that he creates an internal personality. So he's some kind of a Tejasa. Real dreamer will be responding to the dream world. Real waking personality will be responding to the waking world, but it is in between. Yeah, he is neither a waker nor a dreamer. And Puja Swamiji gives a reason that there are many individuals who are like that, and they often get into trouble. Most of the people who have certain disorders, okay, that is MPDs, you know very well, and more than me, even you people are doctors here, and so knowing much more than what I say. And they say that due to childhood, well, some kind of a very painful situation arises. In order to deal with the painful situation, you create some internal personality which respond to the waking world, which is giving you a pain. So that to handle the pain, waker is definitely not capable. Especially that happens in a human life when a person is child. Well, definitely he doesn't have much power to handle the world. So, and he has, due to prarabdha, well, some kind of a very great painful situation occurs, then he creates this internal personality in order to respond to the same, this waking world, so that he can handle it. As a waker, he cannot handle. He is not really a dreamer also. Dreamer has to handle the dream world, but which is not. So in the waking state itself, this kind of a situation arises. So Bhashyakara, so please, don't misunderstand me. But here it is not Jagrat Sushuptayoho Antaralavastha. So rather than telling this Ubhayata Prajna means a sleepy condition, I would prefer this way because Bhashyakara very clear. Jagrat Sapnayoho, not to Sushuptayoho. Antaralavastha Pratisheda. Well, definitely. And this kind of a consciousness which is Ubhayataha, etc. Neither it is waking nor it is a dream. He is neither a waker, neither a dreamer. That kind of Ubhayataha also is. So consciousness which is Ubhayataha also is negated. Identification with the Atma, with this Ubhayataha Prajnaha is also negated. Ubhayata Prajna is not negated. You can understand how Ishvara works. That's how Puja Swamiji explained. I still remember that a human child can definitely handle a very painful situation by creating this kind of a inner situation, because as a waker he is not able to handle, because in terms of a he doesn't have much proper understanding to resolve the issue, neither he is physically also able to, neither he doesn't have enough mental capacity also. So such kind of a thing can happen, but I am not that. This person can come even to, I know one person in Ahmedabad who was a very great student of Vedanta, but having this issue. So, if he comes and then slowly resolves various personalities, that I am really not there, this is a manifestation of me which is mithya, etc., he can resolve slowly, he can handle various personalities. Anyway, so this is, and then Bhashyakara says further, न प्रज्ञान घनम इति सुषुप्त अवस्था प्रतिषेध. So न प्रज्ञान घनम. So person, the sushupta purusha is a basically prajna. So sushupta avastha avachinna chaitanyam, that is also pratishita. Identification of the atma with prajnana ghana, etc., is negated. Ghana means we know is all the distinction that have been there in the waking state and a dream state, well, that have been resolved. So prajnana ghana into an unmanifest form, or ghana swarupa, you can say. So they are brought into a one undifferentiated form. Either you say the knower knowledge and the object of knowledge resolved, either you say various types of knowledge, and depending upon the types of knowledge he has, all knowledge, whatever he has resolved, and the knower also, depending upon the type of knowledge, also is resolved. So that's how prajnana ganam. And so, the reason for calling this Sushupti Avastha Prajnana Ganam is, Ghana means a cloud, mega. The cloud here means, Bhashyakara explains further, Bija Bhava na Prajnana Ganam iti Sushupta Avastha Pratishedaha Bija Bhava Aviveka Rupatvat. So basically, this clouding here, Ganam, the clouding here is Bija Bhava Aviveka Rupatvat. Bija Bhava, causal form. It has, everything has resolved into its cause and has aviveka rupatvat. And definitely we know, everyone has experience There is no viveka at all. No, so aviveka rupatvat. Aviveka definitely means atma, anatma jnanam also is not there. And neither it is that which happens later in a Jagrat also. Tejas avastha also is, which is available in Sushupti avastha, that kind of thing also is not there. Only tamas. So bij bhava, causal body, aviveka rupa. न प्रज्ञमिति युगपत् सर्वविषय प्रज्ञातृत्व निषेधः नान्त प्रज्ञम न बहिष्प्रज्ञम न उभयत प्रज्ञम न प्रज्ञम ना प्रज्ञम एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा न प्रज्ञान घनम एक्सेट्रा. सो नान्त प्रज्ञम न बहिष्प्रज्ञम न उभयत प्रज्ञम न प्रज्ञान घनम न प्रज्ञम. ही इज गोइंग इन ऑर्डर ओनली. न प्रज्ञमिति युगपत् सर्वविषय प्रज्ञातृत्व प्रतिषेधः. सो युगपत्, without this antakarana apeksha. When antakarana apeksha is there, krama will be there. So, antakarana is not there and you know everything. You know, means you are a sarvagnya, na prajnam. So basically consciousness is not even a sarvagnya. Because antakarana is there, then definitely you will know one thing at a time, depending upon the type of vritti which arises. The vritti also arises like kramashaha in the mind. So then you will be always a alpagnya. So suppose antakarana is not there and still you know, then you know everything together. Well, that is sarvagnyatvam also is. So consciousness is not even a sarvagnya. And who is a sarvagnya, you know very well. When we say sarvagnya, then what upadhi will be there? Maya upadhi will be there. So that is a prajna. So with upadhi, sarvagnyatvam, sarvavetrutvam, etc. both are there. Jnani also is a sarvagnya, but in terms of knowing the truth of everything is myself. He says, I know everything as myself. The truth of everything is just myself. That's it. Sarvavetrutvam will not be there. That is in Mandukya Upanisad very beautifully discussed there. Yes, yaha sarvagnya, sarvavit, etc., etc. That is for Ishvara, it has been discussed. But in a secondary sense, this jnani also is a sarvagnya. And for Ishvara, there is no vritti apeksha in order to know. So vritti apeksha, sarvavetrutvam would not be there at all. No ignorance. That's how we know. We defined sarvagnyatvam, not that he knows everything. How will you know that he knows everything? How many things are there? How many knowledges are there, etc. That itself we don't know. So there is no question of a... But ajnanam is not there. That's it, sarvagnyatvam. So yugapat, sarvavetrutvam is possible because of the yugapat. That's called omniscience. So I am Turiya. I am not even Ishvara. Ishvara is Turiya, but I am basically Turiya, not Ishvara. So this is how Ishvaratvam also is negated. So earlier, Nanta Pragnam, etc., Jivatvam is negated. It is false. Now Ishvaratvam is false. This is how it is Jivishvara Aikyam. Knowing Turiya is knowing Aikyam, identity between Jiva and Ishvara. So na prajnam. So sarva vishaya prajnatrutva. Knowing everything. Identification of the Turiya Atma with this Maya Upadhi being a knower of everything simultaneously. Yugapat is pratisheda, dismissed. Okay, we'll keep up to this. Further we'll see on Monday. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.